High above the Atlantic, where clouds stretched like a canvas of dreams, a transcontinental flight promised luxury and escape for its passengers until one man's arrogance turned it into a battleground. Nia Carter, a young stewardess, with a smile that masked her nerves, faced the wrath of a VIP passenger whose wealth couldn't buy decency. As his harassment pushed her to the edge, the skies themselves seemed to hold their breath, waiting for a moment of justice that would turn the tables in a way no one aboard could predict. The cabin of Transglobal Airlines Flight 247 hummed with the soft drone of engines as it soared 35,000 feet above the Atlantic, en route from New York to London on July 14, 2025. The first-class section, a cocoon of plush leather seats and ambient lighting, catered to the elite business tycoons, influencers, and the occasional celebrity. Nia Carter, a 24-year-old flight attendant in her first year with Transglobal, moved through the aisle with practiced grace, her navy uniform crisp, her braided hair neat under her cap. Her warm brown eyes and quick smile hid the nerves of someone. Still proving herself in a high-stakes job, Nia had dreamed of this career since childhood. Inspired by her aunt, a retired pilot who regaled her with stories of the skies. Raised in a modest Brooklyn apartment, Nia worked nights at a diner to fund her training, determined to see the world. Now 6 months into the job, she loved the thrill of takeoff, the camaraderie of her crew, and the chance to make passengers' journeys brighter. But tonight's red-eye flight was testing her resilience. In seat 3A, Victor Langston, a 50-year-old hedge fund manager and self-proclaimed VIP, lounged with the entitlement of a man used to getting his way. His tailored suit and gold watch screamed wealth, but his demeanor reeked of arrogance. Langston was a frequent flyer, known to the crew for his demands and complaints. As Nia passed with a tray of champagne, he snapped his fingers, the sound sharp as a whip. "Hey girl, over here," he barked, his voice carrying over the cabin's hum. Nia turned, her smile unwavering. "Yes, sir, how can I assist you?" she asked, offering a flute of champagne. Langston waved it away. "This isn't Dom Perignon." "I specifically requested Dom. Do you even know what you're serving?" His tone was laced with condescension. Drawing glances from nearby passengers, Nia's cheeks warmed, but she kept her composure. "I apologize, sir. Let me check with the galley." She turned to head back, but Langston's voice stopped her. "Hold on, you're new, aren't you? Figures. They always stick the rookies in first class." He leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. "What's your name, sweetheart?" "Nia, sir," she said, her voice steady despite the knot in her stomach. She'd been trained to handle difficult passengers, but Langston's tone felt personal, predatory. "Nia, huh?" He smirked, his gaze lingering too long. "You need to step up your game if you want to keep this job. Now get me my Dom and don't make me wait." Nia nodded, retreating to the galley where her colleague, Javier, a seasoned flight attendant, was prepping snacks. "Langston's at it again," she whispered, grabbing a bottle of Dom Perignon. "He's such a jerk." Javier rolled his eyes. "He's a regular pain. Just smile and keep moving. He thrives on reactions." Nia nodded, steeling herself as she returned to Langston's seat. Langston's demands didn't stop. Over the next hour, he called Nia back, repeatedly complaining about the temperature of his drink, the angle of his seat, the inferior caviar. Each interaction was laced with barbs. "You're slow for a first-class girl," he said once, loud enough for nearby passengers to hear. Another time, he grabbed her wrist as she handed him a napkin, his grip lingering. "Don't they train you to be quicker?" He sneered, releasing her only when she pulled back. Nia's smile never faltered, but her hands shook as she retreated to the galley. Javier noticed her distress. "You okay, Nia?" he asked, his voice low. "He's crossing lines," she whispered, rubbing her wrist. "It's not just complaints, it's personal." Javier's jaw tightened. "Document it, every word, every action. If it gets worse, we tell Captain Ellis." Nia nodded, pulling out her phone to jot notes in the crew app, her fingers trembling. She'd dealt with rude passengers before, but Langston's harassment felt like a deliberate attack. As the flight crossed the Atlantic, Langston's behavior escalated. He called Nia over again, this time holding up his phone. "Smile for my "Followers," he said, snapping a photo without her consent. "My fans love seeing the help work hard." He laughed, posting the image to his X account with a caption, "First-class service? More like first-class failure? Hashtag transglobal sucks." Nia's heart sank. She wanted to confront him, to demand he delete the post, but her training kicked in. Stay professional, de-escalate. "Sir, please refrain from taking photos of the crew," she said, her voice firm but polite. Langston leaned back, smirking. "Or what? You'll cry to your boss? Do your job, sweetheart, or I'll make sure you're flipping burgers by next week." The threat hung heavy, and a nearby passenger, a woman in a business suit, shifted uncomfortably but said nothing. Nia retreated to the galley, her composure cracking. Javier, overhearing, radioed the lead flight attendant, Maria, who joined them. "He's gone too far," Maria said, her voice sharp. "We're documenting this, and I'm informing the captain." "Nia, you don't go near him again." Nia nodded, grateful but shaken as Maria took over Langston's service. In the cockpit, Captain Rachel Ellis, a 20-year veteran with a no-nonsense demeanor, listened as Maria relayed the situation. "He's harassing my crew, posting photos online and making threats," Maria said over the radio. "We need to handle this before landing." Ellis's voice was calm but firm. "Keep him contained. I'll alert ground control in London. We'll have security waiting." Transglobal had a zero-tolerance policy for passenger misconduct, and Ellis wasn't about to let Langston's status shield him back in the cabin. Langston grew louder, complaining about Maria's service and demanding Nia return. "Where's the pretty one?" He slurred, his third whiskey kicking in. Maria, unflappable, served him with icy professionalism. But Langston's ex-posts continued, each more vitriolic, accusing the crew of incompetence and tagging Transglobal. Unbeknownst to Langston, his posts were backfiring. Passengers in first class, witnessing his behavior, began tweeting their own accounts, praising Nia's professionalism and condemning Langston's harassment. A hashtag #Stand with NIA emerged, trending on X by the time the plane began its descent. A journalist in economy class, traveling incognito, live tweeted the incident, her posts gaining thousands of retweets. As the plane touched down at Heathrow, Langston was oblivious to the storm brewing online. He stood, adjusting his suit, and smirked at Nia as he passed the galley. "Better luck next time, sweetheart," he said, striding toward the exit. At the gate, 2 security officers and a Transglobal supervisor waited. "Mr. Langston," one officer said, stepping forward, "you're coming with us." Langston's smirk vanished as he was escorted to a holding area, his protests echoing down the jetway. "Do you know who I am?" he shouted, but the officers were unmoved. NIA, Maria, and Javier gave statements to the supervisor, detailing Langston's behavior. The journalist's tweets, now viral, had reached Transglobal's corporate office, prompting a swift response. The airline issued a statement. On X, Transglobal Airlines stands against harassment of any kind. We are cooperating with authorities regarding an incident on Flight 247. Langston was banned from future flights, and his hedge fund faced a PR crisis as clients distanced themselves from his toxic behavior. In the crew lounge, Nia sat with Maria and Javier, her hands still shaking. "You did good, kid," Maria said, squeezing her shoulder. "You kept your cool, and that's what matters." Javier showed her the #Stand with NI hashtag, now trending globally, with messages of support from passengers, activists, and even a few celebrities. Nia's phone buzzed with a message from her aunt, who'd seen the news. "You're stronger than you know," it read. Nia smiled, a weight lifting. She hadn't just endured Langston's harassment, she'd sparked a movement. Transglobal offered her accommodation and counseling. But Nia wanted something simpler, a chance to keep flying, to keep serving with her smile intact. A week later, Nia was back in the air, working a flight to Paris. The incident with Langston lingered, but so did the system, the support, but she'd turned it into a triumph. Langston's downfall became a case study in crew training, a reminder that no one, VIP or not, was above accountability. As Nia served passengers with her trademark smile, she felt a quiet pride. The skies were vast, unpredictable, but she'd proven she could navigate them with grace and strength. And somewhere below, in a world reshaped by her courage, the clouds parted to reveal a brighter future.